Hey guys, Y13A here. Sorry I haven't been able to upload as regularly as I'd like to. I've been having a very busy summer doing things that would prepare me for college applications and everything college related. But with that said, I've still made quite a few planes in the last 3 months between my last video and this video. I just couldn't make videos for them because I've been really busy. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a brief rundown on all the projects that I've done in the last 3 months. I plan on giving the projects that I've done in the last 3 months their own individual videos, but since I won't have a lot of time in this coming 6 months, I'll be doing a rundown video right now. So in my last video, you guys saw the YX01, which is an original design by me. Basically, it was built to revive the old YX01 and to test out new materials and techniques for making airplanes. Part of that experimentation involved making straight wing gliders, which may seem pretty boring but actually turned out very interesting. So one of the planes that I made was an inverted goal glider, which I'll show you right here. Basically, inverted goal means that the wings come down first and then in an anhedral, and then later on the outer wing it goes up in a dihedral. And so this was designed to test out techniques for making special wings that bend down and up again, as well as testing out materials such as cardstock. I actually used a note card paper for making the wings and the vertical stabilizer, and for the fuselage I just used a plain straw. And so this actually taught me a lot. Basically, to make my new generation of planes, you need to have cardstock paper or index cards actually, because those are stronger materials and they'll enable you to build much better planes that fly really good. I've had a straight wing glider fly for 15 seconds, and that was a really rapidly built prototype. It was really nice. So that was the first part of my summer back in June. In July, I actually went to another aerospace camp at WPI, which is closer to home. Basically what we did in that camp was we had lectures on aerodynamics and everything in the morning, and in the afternoon we would have build sessions for hands-on projects to apply our knowledge. So for the aerospace program at WPI Frontiers, we actually had a lot of different projects to do, but one that stood out to me was the design project for building a glider that can carry 20 pennies. In short, this is what my glider looked like. A lot of the design process that went into this plane involved thinking radically. Other people used foam for their wings, which made the plane light, but really not efficient in going forward. It's lightweight, but it doesn't have momentum behind it. So I went with using special cardboard material or foam board material to make my plane, and that turned out fairly well. So that's basically what stood out to me at camp. Now, back at home, I've made several improvements to the ASFX Shinden 2 design. A lot of it involved using new materials and new techniques, and so I've achieved a lot with that plane. It turns out that forward swept wing configurations are actually more stable in high altitude launches and regular flight than Delta designs. For some reason, I don't know if it's my craftsmanship or anything, but it turned out to be a very successful platform. So as you saw, the plane looks pretty sleek and, in my opinion, very awesome, because it looks aerodynamic and it flies really good. I'll have its own video eventually, and it'll have its own flight test footage, but it was very successful because of its techniques, the techniques that I put into it. The design is very solid, I think, in my opinion. And basically, to take it a step further, I made an F14, which is right here. I can show you very briefly. This involves a lot of the new techniques that I've used in the ASF-X and in the other plane that I did way back when. I forgot already. But anyways, this F14 is a lot better than my F14 V2, which I still have right here. As you see, this thing looks pretty beat up. The canopy is broken, but I made this out of the new materials and techniques that I've discovered or experimented with. Yes, this does have sweep wings, variable sweep wings. Here you have a straw, and you can pull that, and the mechanism is actually very, very efficient and ingenious, in my opinion. That's a little bit of self-promotion, but it's really, really simple, and I'll put the diagram after this video clip. But basically, you pull this, and you know how it goes. The wings open, and in this mechanism, it's actually a lot more stable and locked in place. The wings don't move around too much, at least in flight and, you know, when it's on my desk. But, you know, it's reversible, and it's fairly reliable, in my opinion. So now I'm going to show you guys the diagram for the mechanism inside. So that was the F14 Tomcat. The last plane that I've made this summer, tomorrow's school, so today's the last day, and in the last couple of days I made my probably final paper plane of the summer, which is the CFA-44 Nosferatu. Now, I did mention this plane before in one of my previous videos, but I never actually made a video for it because it was extremely, extremely bad. I have the older version buried somewhere here on my desk, but basically that got replaced with the V2, which looks a lot better, first of all, and it flies extremely well. It flew from my yard into a trail that's across the street, a forest trail, and it was really hard trying to find this thing in the bush. Basically, I made this out of the new techniques that I've learned and designed in the ASFX, and it turned out pretty well. Now, something about the ASFX and the CFA44 and the F14 Tomcat is that they involve a lot of straws. So if you want to make these planes, I'd suggest you get some thin diameter straws. The reason being is that inside these wings, to create the airfoil shape, I actually used straws in the leading edge. So I put it right in the leading edge, and then I folded the paper over so that it covered the straw and formed the airfoil shape. And this has proved to be very effective in all my planes because it, first of all, provides an airfoil, and second of all, makes it really light inside the wings, which makes it really good for flight. I'll talk more about this later in separate videos, but you know, right now I want to give you guys a brief rundown. So those are actually all the planes that I've worked on this summer. When I'm not working on building and assembling these planes, I've been actually designing and doing a lot of sketches for an upcoming project that I hope to complete before I go to college, which is an RC airplane that would have 2 iPhones on it as cameras. My mom has an iPhone and I have an iPhone, which is the camera that I'm using right now. Basically, I want to have an RC plane built before I go to college, and this is the basic idea. You see, it's going to carry one of my paper prototypes, and it's going to release it in midair so that it, you know, has a high altitude launch. Instead of me throwing it up there all the time, you know, you would have a plane delivering it, kind of like the B-29 Super Fortress and the X-15, which is an experimental plane. This is the basic layout. I have more drawings and sketches of it. And So this leads me to my next point actually. If you want to see all of my recent work and all of my sketches, designs, and planes, you should really go to my Facebook page and like it, because you can stay up to date quickly on your mobile device. You don't have to visit YouTube and stream a lot of data. You can also follow me on Twitter. All the links and everything, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, will be in the links below. And that's basically it for this rundown video. I hope you guys are still interested. I've been losing a lot of views lately, and I hope that stops to happen, and I hope my views start rising again, and hopefully by the time the views are at their peak, I can show you guys my RC plane. So yeah, I'm still working on the RC plane. I'm still working on the design aspects, the drawings, sketches. That's what I like to do when I'm not making planes, is thinking about planes and drawing planes. So without further ado, I'm gonna end this video because it's getting a little bit long. Hope you guys stay tuned, stay in tune, whatever, with this channel, and of course visit all my social media links, because that's how I can connect to you faster rather than YouTube. Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.